Imagine a world plunged into chaos, where millions of soldiers were called to fight, and entire empires crumbled in just a few years. This is World War I, the Great War. But how did a conflict that began in Europe engulf the entire world? By the end of this video, you'll discover the shocking truths, untold stories, and lessons from a war that changed history forever. The origins of WW1 were like a ticking time bomb. Europe in the early 20th century was a powder keg of tension. Militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism created an unstable web. Then, on June 28, 1914, a single bullet in Sarajevo changed everything. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist. This small act ignited a massive conflict. Within weeks, alliances pulled nation after nation into war. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire on one side. Britain, France, and Russia on the other. W1 was unlike anything the world had seen. Millions of soldiers fought in unimaginable conditions. Trenches stretched for hundreds of miles. Mud, rats, disease, and constant artillery fire became part of daily life. New weapons, like machine guns, poison gas, tanks, and airplanes, turned battlefields into nightmares. Battles like the Somme and Verdun became symbols of unimaginable loss. Millions killed, wounded, or missing. Life on the home front was equally harsh. Civilians endured shortages, rationing, and fear. Women entered factories to fill the roles left by men at war, forever changing society. Governments controlled information, spreading propaganda. But the grim reality was impossible to hide. Every family felt the war's shadow. By 1917, the tide began to shift. Exhausted armies, collapsing morale, and new technologies changed the course of the war. The United States entered the conflict, bringing fresh troops and resources. Innovations like tanks and improved artillery, combined with strategic mistakes by the Central Powers, slowly turned the battlefield. Yet, victory came at a staggering cost. Millions of lives lost, empires collapsing, and borders redrawn. The world would never be the same. When the guns finally fell silent in 1918, the Treaty of Versailles attempted to create peace, but its harsh terms planted seeds of resentment. Germany faced crippling reparations. Empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire dissolved, and millions of soldiers returned home to shattered countries. The human cost was staggering. 17 million dead, 20 million wounded, and countless more scarred physically and mentally. W1 taught hard lessons about war, power, and human resilience. It showed how nationalism, alliances, and technology could combine to create unparalleled destruction. But it also sparked change. Women's rights movements, technological innovations, and a deeper understanding of global diplomacy. The war that started with a single bullet in Sarajevo changed the world forever. If you want to understand today's world, you must never forget the lessons of the Great War. It's not just history, it's a story of humanity, struggle, and survival.